Hello.
Hi.
So, welcome to my channel, and this is Amadeus. Could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Amadeus. I recently started my studies here at WU, the University of Business and Economics in Vienna, and I'm studying the German Bachelor WiSo, which stands like in German for Wirtschafts- und Sozialwissenschaften. It's like the major of business and social sciences.
Perfect. Thank you for saving the trouble of saying what WiSo stands for.
Always.
Yeah. And okay, so some students have this misconception. I also got in this message quite recently that the BBE exam, the BBE entrance exam, that's the Bachelor of Business and Economics at WU, the English taught program, is kind of the same like the WiSo exam, but the only difference is the language. Is it really so?
No, like they're not really comparable to each other. Besides that, they're both about business.
Mm-hmm. And how is the structure of WiSo different to the structure of the BBE exam?
So I think the biggest difference is like that the WiSo exam is like an open book exam, meaning you can have all the resources, the material you have to use like on your computer, on a book next to you. In difference to the BBE exam where like it's very strict, like they have access to your microphone, access to your camera, and then you need to look straight to your monitor without even looking away.
Yeah. So, and regarding the questions there, so because Amadeus took both exams, he took the WiSo and the BBE exam, so he's qualified to talk about it. Regarding the questions and how many questions there are and like how difficult they are, what's the difference between WiSo and BBE?
I think in WiSo we had like 3 different topics. One was about mostly the university, one was about math, bless you,
Thank you.
and one was like about a certain topic they give you.
The sun is there, so it's bright.
Yes,
Yeah.
so regarding to BBE we had like only multiple choice questions, so they have easier to examine and the results, while in WiSo you have like to write essays with a range of how many words you can use.
Mm-hmm. And what would be like a typical WiSo exam question?
And like the exam questions they do like areas, one about the ECTS and how do you plan your studies, like they had examples of 3 different students who all made it differently, the studies, and then you have like to look at the website, how can they gain more ECTS throughout the studies, how they can get through their studies, or like what kind of specializations they can choose within their studies.
Oh, okay, so you really have to, take a look at the program you're going to be studying soon, so you can answer the questions, because like they try to test if you kind of, if really motivated to study, then you like care enough to check the subjects there and maybe more or less a structure. You don't have to be like an expert on the structure of how the studies go before even starting the studies, but please check out the course catalog for that, and also the program brochures are very helpful for that purpose. And regarding the economics or math questions at WiSo, were there many of them, or what kind of questions? Do you remember them? Maybe like how difficult it was to solve them, or what kind of topics they were about?
So regarding the math questions, always like something about economics, and we had 1 math test this year, and the last year was always just 1 math test because they put more weight on the German skills. So it was pretty easy, I'd say, solving the math equation. It was like a graph, and then like, hey, you have this graph of x and y, and you have to do this, and if you just write there the answer without any explanation, they accept it. Meanwhile, the other tasks, which are like about essays, you have like to skim through the website, you have to find the specializations, which like is more like looking for resources than writing it themselves.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the difference is the BBE exam is multiple choice, so each question in the BBE exam is going to have 5 statements per question, like, and you put true or false. You don't have to write or draw anything there. But for WiSo, is it also like an online platform where you can write and type, or do you have to scan what you write on the paper and upload the PDF?
It is like an online platform, but like they recommend like writing it first in Word and your own words, and then like just copy paste it into the platform, and then they like say how many characters you have written, how many words you have written, and if you're like within that range, you can just send it out. And the only thing they really take care of or look about isn't even the words I heard about people that got accepted and they were above the limit of words you can use.
Okay, so it's pretty chill exam, I would say.
Yeah, it's chill, but that's like mostly because like there are way more applicants and they accept way more people than into BBE, and like the most people like fail within the STEOP or the CBK.
So STEOP, for people who don't know, the abbreviation is the introductory and orientation phase. So it's the first 2 subjects you have to pass to be able to register for further courses. And CBK is like the common body of knowledge. It's the main chunk of subjects you have to complete, and usually after that the specializations and free electives come. Yeah, and for math equations at WiSo, do you write the math equations like you type them out with the little plus signs, equal signs, or do you need to write them on paper first, or there's like a formula, a function there on the platform?
I think it's always depending like on what task they give you. Maybe next year it will be different, but this year like we just typed it out like with plus and some multiplications and addition. It was like one line of formula and that's it.
Okay.
So it was pretty easy. You just have like to know the basics of it.
So you had how many questions in total for WiSo?
I think it was 5 to 6 questions. Like since there were like different topics, so like question 1 with A, B, C, which all like about the same topic, just different students and how they differently plan their studies.
Okay, so let's say you have 3 main questions and there's like sub questions.
Yes, to each of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. So yeah, so the first question, or one of the questions, is the study planning. Please just take a look at the website about the program and the courses there. And the math question, just easy things. So even if you don't know it or you kind of forgot, you can always look up it in a book or in Google. You can Google it and prohibit it. And if you're taking the WiSo exam and your German language is limited, so because you can still apply to WiSo if your German is A2, and then you study it further in the special preparation courses, it's still fine because you can use Google Translate.
Yes.
So don't worry about the German too much. If it's not perfect, you can translate it. You can translate what you wrote. So don't stress out about it.
I wouldn't say don't stress out about it. What I heard about this year, the exam was way harder than the last years. Mostly for those who are not native in German. They had struggles with time. A lot of people like send it out even too late. But luckily, they extended the time for the exam. So I would still prepare a bit. Mostly about the resources, about the links within the website where you can see the ECTS, where can you see the specializations, and doing still some prepare and open it like in different tabs on your Google browser, for example.
Okay, that's good choice, good advice. And was there like any economics question? So was there one essay question, and then only one math question, math/economics?
Like in economics, there's like always a different topic. It's not like basic, okay, how does a business work, or what about like the finance about a business. It's like more about a certain topic. Like they had COVID last year, I think. This year it was about recycling, as far as I know. And always like a different topic which is like currently set in the world. Let it be climate change maybe next year. Always something different. Okay.
So they try to kind of keep it, they change it. It's not the same questions every year. So if you think that the questions stay exactly the same each year, they're not. They change them. And also I've heard that from one of my colleagues. She told me that the WiSo exam was harder this year than last year.
Definitely.
Because the time span you had was the same, 3 to 4 hours to complete it.
3 hours, I think.
3 hours. I think it was from 9 or 10 to like 1 p.m.
Yeah, 10 to like 1 p.m.
10 to 1 p.m. Yeah. And then there was like double the amount of questions.
Yes.
Because she was like, last year it was like, I think just 3 questions, like 3 small questions. And this year there were 6 or like bigger questions in general. So yeah, it gets a bit harder. So not just the BBE exam gets a bit harder every year, the WiSo gets harder as well. But the competition for WiSo, it's smaller.
Yes.
So there is around 2,703 places for WiSo. And there, I think this year there were around 4,500 applicants.
Yes,
or so.
that's what like they told on the website.
Yeah, I remember those numbers. At this point, I memorized them. So the competition is not as high because for BBE have like 8 to 10% acceptance rate, and here it's pretty much anybody who puts in the effort into the entrance exam will get in, because sometimes it's not the first choice of everybody. So some people don't even end up taking the entrance exam there, or some people just forget about it. It also happens. So if you just take the exam and you put in as much effort as you can, you're very likely going to get in. So don't worry about it, but then the STEOP phase comes, and this is where you have to struggle. Yeah,
like the STEOP phase, they changed it this year for us. Like last year, you had like business, economics, math,
yeah.
And what was the last one? And whites, like.
And what?
Whites,
Recht, law.
Law, yeah, law. And this year they took away math and put it into the common body knowledge, so it's easier to get through the STEOP. But they put like different classes together. Like they have now economics with future business. Like I don't know how like to explain it, and so it's still harder to go past economics, for example, because they want like a lot of people to struggle with it and even to fail, so they can like get rid of some students. So I would say like the exam exam is hard. It's easy, but like afterwards, it's hard to like keep on track. If you want really good grades, you have to study a lot. Like for example, for me now, I did the summer uni, and like I have my first exam next week, and it's like still on the level like the BBE exam kinda.
So yeah, you still have to use the it's still like if you apply to 2 programs and you get into WiSo, the knowledge you learned for one of the entrance exam for BBE doesn't go to waste. It's still very useful. It's still going to be used in your studies in the first semester in the STEOP phase, and yeah, and also you can also ask questions in the comments down below. And if you have a question that we haven't answered, I will text Amadeus very kindly like, hey, can you please help me with this question? But yeah, I think.
Yes.
Would you like to mention any tips or tricks how to prepare for the entrance exam for WiSo?
I mean, first I would
unexpected things?
compare like the STEOP to BBE. Like the STEOP is like exactly the same as the BBE entrance exam. Like what the BBE guys prepare for the entrance exam is like what we have in our studies. So it's like on the same level. That's why like the BBE people don't have like that hard of a STEOP. It's like easier to get good grades in BBE than WiSo. Because like WiSo is hard. They don't want you to have that kind of good grades. While in BBE they want you to have good grades. And like what I would recommend for preparing for the WiSo entrance exam is mostly the ECTS. Take a look at them. How do they count ECTS? Get the links for the ECTS, like open them into your tabs on your browser, and maybe take a look at business math equations just to have like a glimpse of that. Okay, where do you find maybe these formulas if you don't know them by heart?
Maybe the BBE economics book that they provide could be a good source of introductory knowledge to economics. Like if your English is okay as well, like it's a B2 and up, you can read the BBE economics book if you don't have anything else to do and like you're really stressed about the WiSo exam. You can read it and it's gonna help you with like the basics, and it's the knowledge you learned don't worry, we'll use it still. So yeah. So for math and economics,
if you read like the introduction to business and economics, which they give for the BBE entrance exam, it will help you with the economics classes in STEOP as well, because it's like exactly the same, just in German. And also like me, like not all the professors are like that good in explaining it exactly. So like I read the introduction to business and economics myself to prepare for the entrance exam.
So don't worry about it too much. You will have like 3 to 4 hours next year to solve it. It's plenty of time even if you haven't prepared at all. It's still I think enough time to write at least something that's acceptable. Maybe it won't be as good as if you've prepared like a week before, but don't stress about it too much. Maybe repeat the basics of mathematical formulas, maybe solve some maturas, question maturas, just to practice. But all in all, it's pretty easy to. It's not that hard to pass, I would say.
Yeah, I would say. Don't try to be perfect because it will just stress you. Make it good because most of the time it will be enough, even though there will be more applicants every year. I think like if you have a basic knowledge of German and maths, like you always get in because like half the people only have it as second choices. A lot of BBE students, for example, apply to WiSo as well, and then they get accepted into BBE, and then they don't do WiSo.
Some people do 2 programs at once actually. I've heard so many stories. Some people apply to WiSo and BBE, and if they end up getting accepted to both, they just start both to see what they like more. And yeah, so BBE is harder to get into but easier to study at, and WiSo is easier to get into but harder to study at, so pick what you want.
But on the other hand, like for me, you can do the same specializations as BBE. Like if you have like good grades, you can apply for the same specializations and even study after a year in English alongside maybe BBE colleagues.
Also free electives, you can choose the same ones as the BBE students can.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are still possibilities to make your studies, like if you want your studies to be in English, you can still apply for the English specializations and free electives, so don't worry. But the main body of knowledge in the STEOP will be in German.
Yes.
You just have to get through that, and then you can enjoy the English language if you like it so much. And you can also do an internship in English. I don't think it's prohibited. And German language is also a big plus. Like if you're not fluent in it yet, it's a big plus in Austria for jobs.
Definitely.
Most jobs would require you at least B2 level or some kind of common German language
like just
knowledge.
to work with the team mostly because. But like there are some companies who only have like an English-speaking team.
Yeah, but still, the gossips, the good stuff. The good stuff and the interesting stuff will still be
in German, definitely.
In German. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
In the description, I will post what kind of questions might usually, like what kind of topics might pop up for the WiSo exam, because Amadeus will tell me like in more details like what topics you should repeat for math and for economics, just to have a better understanding of it, in case we missed anything. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for agreeing to this
Yeah, you're welcome all the time. Yeah, thank you for helping me out with the BBE entrance exam. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Peace out. I had to do it.
Oh, you had to do it.
Oh.